Hey, it's Dorleen. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my creative life. I'm working in my junk journal today. Now, this picture I painted before. If you go to the information box, I do have a link to the original video, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. I was flipping through because I wanted to play in my junk journal, and I just kept flipping to this page, and I'm thinking, you know what, I really just don't like this. I love the vase. I love the tablecloth. And there's some things I do like about it, but I think I just don't like those limes. I just wanted to just change some things. So those white puffy things, and believe me, I don't know what they're supposed to be, but they're white puffy flowers. I decided to change those. I'm going to make 3 hydrangeas. Now, I do not paint realistic. So I'm going to say they're hydrangeas, but basically they are 3 balls of yellow. I'm going to add some orange because I'm going to mix that together and make like an apricot color because I do want this flower to have some dimension. So I'm going to add this on top. And most of the colors that I do when I add them is I'm just kind of using my brush, and you're going to see me in a minute. I'm going to lighten that a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of pounce on it. And what I'm doing is, instead of actually painting petals, I'm just kind of doing little marks. You see how that's just kind of pouncing a little bit. I'm mixing colors because I want a different variety. But you see how I'm just pouncing on there? And you'll see as it starts showing up, look at that, does give the illusion of petals in there. I'm going to keep working on that, and you'll see that as I'm going along. But I wanted to say I don't paint realistic things, whether it's flowers, people, animal, whatever I'm doing, because I am not that kind of painter. I always say I don't know how to draw. I mean, I could draw, but nothing like, I don't know how to say it. I draw like anybody can draw. I never feel really fully comfortable with drawing an exact something, so just some basic things. And in my mind, especially when you have a vase and some leaves, if you put blobs of color on something, everyone knows it's a flower. So in my mind, I guess what I'm saying is I paint more abstract, more whimsical, more childlike, I guess. I don't know if that's something you agree with, but I couldn't tell you like, oh yeah, show me a picture and I'll paint it exact. That's definitely not something I'm doing, but I don't care. That's just the way I do it. And I don't want to even attempt something different because I know when I do, I disappoint myself because it doesn't look like it's supposed to. So I stick to my abstract, like I said, fun, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy playing in my junk journal because, obviously it's old paper or I'm recycling, book pages. And in this case, it was a magazine page. So if that's something you're interested in doing, I do have a playlist for junk journal, and there's probably my earlier ones where I show how to put together signatures or what I use or what I gather for my signatures. And this is my second junk journal book. This one I made using a little golden book. Again, I have other videos for this, but since I'm chatting along, I may as well tell you the book that I bought. It's called what is it called? We Like Kindergarten, because when I was in kindergarten, I broke my arm in 3 places. Long story, but my grandma, when she went to visit me, she brought me that book, and it's like one of those things that's always in the back of my mind. So whenever I go to like an antique place or like a thrift store or any place, I always look for it. And one time, it's already been a couple years now, I actually found it. And, it's funny because on the price of the book, it says 49 cents. And I think I probably spent like $10 on it, but I didn't care. I had to buy it because I felt like I was constantly on the lookout for it. But, anyhow, so that's what I have my journal with. And I hope you decide to go through my junk journal playlist because I think you'll enjoy seeing all the other things that I've done either in this book, which is fairly new, or my original one. But anyhow, so back to the picture. So for the hydrangeas, I didn't want to the whole thing with blooms. So you can see here that I'm doing like little X's, little crosses, little plus signs, whatever you want to call it, to give the illusion of the petals, the hydrangea petals. I'm also combining some blue and some green to come up with a different color. So instead of like your basic greens, I'm doing some more leaves in there. This is more of like a turquoise color, which I really like, but you see how it clashes with that really fully green vase. So it really stands out. And I'm going to change some of the other things as we go along. You saw me change the color of those, I'm going to call them tulips, just because of the shapes. You also saw me on the left-hand side. I have lots of extra paint. And I don't like to waste the medium. So usually what I'll do is I'll either do what I'm doing here, where I'll, add some color to the adjoining page. Or at the end, I'll just kind of use it to draw marks on other pages. So, excuse me. So when you're going through my junk journal, or when I'm going through it, there's not very many just like blank pages. There might be little splotches of paint here and there. Or if I'm using pens, there might be markers, whatever. And that just gives me a different place to start instead of like starting on a blank page, which sometimes can be intimidating. These might have some other little marks here and there. So anyhow, just a little tip if you're like me and don't like to waste medium. So the funny thing is here is originally I'm thinking, those are just, more of those tulipy type flowers. And then in the end, off screen, after everything dried, I end up changing them into butterflies. So you can see there how like those bottom two definitely could be wings because they're kind of back to back with each other. So I put that body of the butterfly in the middle there. And then the one on the top, I put a butterfly like if he was on the side. So anyhow, you won't even see it because I don't even take a picture. But the reason why I'm mentioning it is because, sometimes you start one way and then you end up another, which is exactly what is happening here since I decided to redo this particular spread because I just didn't like, I think I just didn't really like the lemons or the limes. And you see here, I'm changing them to lemons. And then I'm thinking, I still don't even like them. So what I do, because of that yellow kind of base, I end up putting like daisy petals around it, and then the yellow part of the lemon is what are going to be the middle of the flowers, which I do end up adding a little bit more yellow to, here. So it's obviously a daisy flower there. But anyhow, so just a little, a lot of me talking and jabbering on, sorry. But again, I just kind of wanted to say, if you're not happy with something, there's no rules to say you can't redo something. So maybe I did a little too much and got rid of some of the basic stuff that I liked. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just really like it a lot. But I do like it definitely a lot more. And you'll see at the end, I end up putting the word love in the middle of the vase, which I love. And I do like this project a lot better. I do use a black paint marker to add some edging or drawing around the flowers, and I think I kind of like that look a lot. I do that even when I'm scrapbooking and stuff, which is kind of interesting. I never really realized that was my thing. That and some splatter, which I'm doing here, which basically you just use some paint, add a lot of water to it, and then just flick your brush a little bit. But look at that. I love the splatter. But I hope you like this video. And if you do, give me a thumbs up. I know I'm talking a lot just about everything and nothing, but well, that's what I do. So again, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section. Let's see, links to that original video will be down in the information box. Also a link to my blog, so you can look there. There'll be, and also my Instagram account. I think that might be it as far as what's in the information box, but please check it out. And also just, check out that playlist, because I think if you're interested in creating your own junk journal, or in my case, it's a journal made out of junk, but it's my art journal. So there's so many different ways to junk journal, and there's definitely no wrong ways, because I use this to play with new techniques. Sometimes I just go in there and like this, painting different things. I just did a video recently where I'm taking a portrait class, and so I'm doing my portraits here instead of like on a canvas or completely different pad of paper. And you know what? It recycles because a lot of the stuff is junk mail and envelopes, things like that. But I do hope you like this. Like I mentioned, I think it's really fun. It's so much fun to play. And if you do, make sure you give me a like, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And I appreciate you watching. And thank you very much. I do post 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking, and the other is whatever it is I'm creating in the Command Center, which is the name of my craft room and also my blog. Thanks again for watching. Bye.